All right, let's get right into it. Today we're tackling what is, for a lot of people, a truly agonizing decision. You're ready to get a new MacBook, but which one do you actually need? The Air or the Pro? You'd think this would be simple, right? Air is for light stuff, Pro is for, well, for pros. But honestly, with Apple's new chips, that line has gotten so blurry. The good news? By the time we're done here, you are going to know exactly which one is for you. I promise. Now, you might assume this all comes down to the chip, M4 versus M4 Pro. But the single biggest difference, the thing that really matters, is actually something way more fundamental. It's a design choice that completely changes how these two laptops perform under pressure. Okay, let's dive into this, because if you get this one concept, the entire decision becomes so much easier. See, it's not just about which machine is faster, it's about what kind of fast they are. And here it is. This is the secret. The MacBook Air has no fan. Zero. It's totally silent and just uses its metal body to cool down. The MacBook Pro, though, has an active cooling system. It's got a fan inside specifically designed to push hot air out. That one little difference creates two totally different machines. So think about the MacBook Air like it's a world-class sprinter. For short bursts of activity, I'm talking opening a bunch of apps, zipping around the web, quickly editing a photo, it is just unbelievably fast. It gives you all of its power right away, in an instant. The MacBook Pro, on the other hand, is our elite marathon runner. It can absolutely keep up with the Air in that initial sprint, but its real superpower is endurance. It can hold that peak speed for a long, long time, minutes, even hours, without ever slowing down. So, why does that happen? Well, it all comes down to a little thing called thermal throttling. Because the Air has no fan, when you give it a really long, intense job, it starts to get hot. To protect itself from overheating, it has to intentionally slow down. It, pumps the brakes to cool off. The Pro, with its fan whirring away, just doesn't have to do that nearly as much. And this chart, this shows you exactly what we mean by that marathon analogy. Look, if you ran a test for just a few seconds, those bars might look pretty similar. But this is a longer test, a benchmark that really pushes the computer for several minutes. And you can see it right there. The Air has to throttle back, while the Pro just keeps on chugging at full speed, ending up with a much higher score. Okay, so that sustained performance is the biggest deal. But it's not the only thing you're paying extra for. That Pro name also gets you a few other really nice upgrades. Things you'll notice every single day. First up, the display, and this is a huge one. The Air screen is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the Pro's screen is just on another level. It's way brighter, which is amazing for watching HDR movies, but the real game changer is the 120 Hz ProMotion. It makes everything, from scrolling a web page to just moving your cursor, feel buttery smooth. It's one of those things that once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then there's this, which for some people is a massive quality of life improvement. The Pro has a built-in HDMI port and an SD card reader. If you're a photographer or you're constantly plugging into TVs and projectors for presentations, this is a lifesaver. It means you can finally leave that little bag full of adapters and dongles at home. And real quick, we've got to mention the speakers. The MacBook Air speakers are great, way better than most laptops. But the speakers in the MacBook Pro are just widely known to be the best you can get in any laptop. Period. The sound is fuller, the bass is deeper, it's a noticeable step up. So we've got the sprinter versus the marathoner, and we've got the extra Pro perks. Now, let's put it all together and figure out which one of these is actually for you. Honestly, it breaks down pretty simply. If you're a student, a writer, if your day is mostly spent in a web browser, sending emails, working on documents, the MacBook Air is all you need. Its sprinting ability is perfect for that. Heck, even if you're a hobbyist who dabbles in photo and video editing, the Air is going to be plenty powerful. It's only when your actual job involves those marathon tasks, like exporting long 4K videos, compiling massive amounts of code, or rendering 3D models, that the Pro becomes the obvious choice. In fact, we can take this whole complicated, expensive decision and boil it all down to one single, really simple rule that should make everything clear. And there it is. That's the bottom line. The MacBook Air is so good now, it should be the default choice for pretty much everybody. You should only really consider the MacBook Pro if you can point to a specific, time-consuming task you do for your job over and over again that needs that marathon-like endurance we were talking about. Let that sink in for a second. The Air is the default. The Pro is the exception. It's the specialized tool for a specialist. Don't fall into the trap of paying for extra performance and features that, if you're being honest with yourself, you're probably never going to use. And that really brings it all back to you. The question isn't, am I a pro or do I need a pro laptop? The real question is, what is the job you need this computer to do? Are your daily tasks more like a series of sprints or a long-distance marathon? As soon as you figure that out, your choice becomes crystal clear.